Hello friends! Today I'm making a few easy sewing projects to help keep my home more organized. Over the past few months, I've been doing a pretty big reset, decluttering my scrap fabrics and yarn and trying to work only with what I already have. We even gave our craft studio a full makeover. And now that everything feels lighter, all the small things that don't quite work anymore have become very obvious. So let's fix them. We're starting with this clothespin bag, because the one we have right now is disgusting. I know a lot of people use dryers, but we don't have one. Here in Europe it's really common to hang clothes outside or on balconies. We use it every week when doing laundry, and I actually like the shape and design of it, so I'm going to try and recreate it. If you have a dryer, this could also be used to store little laundry gadgets. The original is made with a thick fabric, no lining, and bias binding on all the inside seams. I don't have anything like that, so I'm going to use some leftover fabric from this shirt and this dark brown for the lining. I do wish I had interfacing, but I don't, so instead I will add a layer of batting to give it a bit of structure. I will make sure I have interfacing for the next projects. I thought about unstitching it to copy each piece exactly, but since it has bias binding all over the inside, it would take way too long, so I'm just going to sketch it and try to recreate the shape. Before I sew the parts together, I have to attach the bias binding on the front pieces. I've stitched the binding to the lining, and now I'm folding it like this and I'm going to top stitch it. But I'm using a brown thread on the bobbin, so it won't show on the other side. Here I'm trying to recreate the original piece, so if I want it to look like this, I have to sew its good sides together. I'm almost done. I can't wait to finally have a cute clothespin bag. The things I'm excited about nowadays are shocking. So here's the original clothespin bag, and this is mine. It's simple, but it feels so much nicer than what we had before. I ended up making a zigzag stitch on the inside seams instead of binding it. I think it looks good enough. I'm so happy with it. Next, I need something to store my fabric scissors, but still keep them within reach. Now I have them on the shelf, which makes me stand up to grab them, and also makes it more difficult to clean the shelf. I found this idea and immediately thought about making it in this empty space on the wall. My friend Noor gave me these jeans to upcycle and I had this old frame lying around, so that's what I'm using. This should be an easy project with zero sewing involved, which is nice to take a break. It seems to me like one pocket it's not gonna be enough for all my scissors, so I'm going to add this belt strip on the side. First I tested how it fit the frame, and then I decided to hand sew it, which was not easy, but still easier than with the domestic sewing machine. It wouldn't handle this bulk. That looks good, but it still was missing something, so I added this fun thread bobbin button. And now I have another place for my paper scissors and I can put my glasses and pen on the right, with my fabric scissors inside the pocket. This is so cute! It kind of gives me vibes of a teenage bedroom from the 2000s, but now everything is within reach and at the same time it works as decoration. You could make this for many things, like sunglasses and keys at the entry of your home. Now I need to replace this crochet hook case. The zipper of this crochet hook case is falling apart. I could fix it and I will, but it doesn't spark any joy anymore. Also, my crochet students have all the same one, so we are constantly mixing them up and I had to write my name on it. On my new one, I will add my new tags. My friends from Wunder Level kindly gifted me some tags. I've been wanting to have this side type of tags for a while now, and you're always asking me where you can get custom tags, so I asked for a discount for you and I left it on the description. For the fabric, I couldn't find any cute ones, so to make it more interesting, I'm going to combine these two into a patchwork checkered pattern. Going back to the sewing, someday I would love to design one of those roll-up crochet cases and make a pattern myself, but right now I don't have the mental energy for that. I blame my spring allergies, they have been not helping at all. So today I'm just going to make a basic case. Lately I've been trying to be a bit more patient with myself. If I have an idea but it doesn't fit my time, my skills, or my energy right now, it's okay to let it go or just save it for later. What I've been wanting to try for a while is that viral patchwork method where you fuse everything onto a single piece of interfacing, so we are trying that today. Now that all the pieces are fused, instead of sewing each square one by one, I only need to sew vertical and horizontal seams, which makes it much faster. Now I'm going to give this a press and I will make the horizontal seams. And this is how it turned out. It was really interesting to try. I don't think it would work well for a quilt, it's a bit too rigid for that, but it does make the seams look really neat. Now, after hours of cutting and sewing, I can finally start the case. But first, a snack. I'm following a couple of tutorials for this, so if you want to make one too, I've left the links in the description. I need 2 outer pieces, 2 lining pieces and a small piece to make a strip. For the zipper I have these 2 options. The lighter one might be a bit too short, but the color is perfect. The tutorial says I have to prepare the zipper folding the endings like this. And then I'm making little snips to mark the center and align the layers. And now, time to turn it inside out. It's so cute, although it's looking a bit crooked, isn't it? Well, it's good enough for me. I nailed the back so the squares lined up. And the lining looks so pretty. It's giving me strong high school vibes again. I remember the cool kids having pencil cases like this. It feels weirdly nostalgic. There's one last project I want to make. I don't know if I ever shown our bathroom before, so let's make a tour. Done! It's small, but it's the only one we have, so I want to upgrade it a little bit. Right now, just entering, we have this super dark window that goes to the light well. We usually leave the door open because Momo tends to throw his water everywhere, so he has an extra water source in the shower just in case. But if we leave the bathroom door open at night and our neighbor turns on the light, we get all of it straight into the bedroom. Because we also leave our bedroom door open for Momo and it's right next to the bathroom. So long story short, I need a curtain to cover this dark window and block the light that comes in at night. I have this fabric, but I think it might be a bit too thin and let the light through. So I'm going to add this other one as a lining. Even though the curtain won't be very big, I will make it twice as wide so it gathers nicely. And since it's quite a large piece, we'll have to move to the floor for this. So the curtain is basically two pieces that I have to sew together, turn them inside out and finish with a top stitch around the edges and a funnel for the curtain rack. My back is definitely feeling it after so many hours at the sewing machine. And the light right now is so beautiful, I think I need a break. I feel like this video turned into something a bit different. I wanted to show easy projects, but they didn't turn out so easy after all. In the end, it's really about doing what you can with what you have. Social media can make it feel like our homes should be more perfect, more curated. But honestly, even if my space is small and still a work in progress, have you seen this light? Getting sunlight like this inside your home is such a privilege. Time to see how it looks. It's already so much better than that dark window, but I'm not completely sure about the length yet. I really love the gathers at the top, so I'm thinking of adding some at the bottom too, so it stays in place and takes up a bit less space. While I was working on the curtain, my partner Eneko added a small wooden shelf on the wall just to give the space a bit more charm, and somewhere to keep things like the air freshener and extra toilet paper. I think this might be my favorite project. It makes such a difference and I had been putting it for so long. We used to have this dark hole that just swallowed the light and now it feels so much softer and more inviting. Before I go, I wanted to share a few other small sewing projects I've made in the past to keep my home organized. One of my favorites are these door stoppers I made when I was just starting to sew. They are really simple, but we use them every day. They are a bit worn out now, so I might have to make new ones soon. I do have a tutorial for them and I will leave it in the description. Another easy project is this sofa sleeve. It was very quick to make and it's great for keeping things like remotes or little everyday items in one place. And of course, my super pin cushion. I know I mention it all the time, but it's just so practical and a really nice project to get started with patchwork. I hope this gave you some ideas or maybe just a bit of motivation to make your home a little more practical. Let me know which one was your favorite, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe and leave a like. See you next week! Adeu!